Hello, beloved cosmic star familia, and welcome back. We did a little bit of a slight name change to this channel yesterday so that it's a bit more inclusive. We took the C out of sistars and just left the stars, so that we can be a bit more inclusive here. So the new name and the final name of this channel is Soul Stars of the Violet Flame. In this session, we are going to be actually setting the tone for the rest of the day and tapping into our child self, embracing our child self with a little bit of storytelling, a little bit of starseed storytelling with the Rose Oracle. So yes, we're going back into this deck today. This time we're actually going to be utilizing a spread. That is customized for this deck. So with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. With, as soon as I can get to the spread here, the Rose, Bud, Thorn, Seed, and Root 5-card spread. Using the intelligence of nature to see the big picture as well as the practical, helpful things along the way. A wonderful one to do if you have a little more time and want to do a deep dive and take grounded action. So, this should be fun. We're going to go ahead and move this burning sage on over to the side so we can clean the area, clear the area as we go. With this atonement, Mother Rose, you who were present long before we, and you who will continue after we're gone, bless this oracle and all who use it. May it be a gateway for all to return to ourselves, the earth, and each other. May our connection with the voice of our soul be made stronger with every use. May all who touch it feel cherished, held, loved, softened, and seen. May it deliver insight, understanding, compassion, and guidance that's in the highest interest of all beings, past, present, and future. When I'm holding space for another, help me to step out of the way and invite others to connect with the wisdom that exists deep within them. Guide me and all who use it to embrace our ever-changing true nature and the seasons of our lives with compassion, understanding, and grace. Show us how we can plant ourselves here more deeply than ever before. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So it is, so it is, so it is. All right. So let's take a look again at this spread. Position number 1, representing the rose portion, is what's blooming, the possible outcome. So this is going to be yet a bit more of a reveal of this deck today as well. So, going right into the most likely outcome first. That's interesting. It almost feels awkward going into it like this. But here we are doing a little bit of storytelling with the Starseeds, utilizing the Rose Oracle deck. And I'm about to spread it out if it doesn't want to cough it out. One more pass. Okay, we have several cards. 4 of the 5 needed. So we'll just take the one from the bottom. And then we're going to lay this out. Let's see, how is it positioned in the book? You don't necessarily have to go by the book per se, but let's see here. Okay, it goes 1 at the top, and then 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So, let's see if we can't adjust this a bit so that you can see the cards a bit better. Maybe. Alright. So, here we go. Card number 1 is at the top. And we have an honorable mention here because this card flipped right off the top of the deck. So, honorable mention for this session is the bud, representing potential, promise. It's about to happen. Keep going. So let's see what the book says about the bud. When new buds are beckoning to bloom within you. What new buds are beckoning to bloom within you? A bud is an embryonic swelling of the stem of the rose that has the potential to develop into a flower. Leaf or shoot. In temperate climates, plants form resting buds that are resistant to the brutal frost. The bud is the promise of what's to come. It's the physical manifestation of the seeds that we've been holding deep in the earth, nurturing and dreaming through the fertile void of winter. Now we find ourselves in the inner season of spring, and the bud is beginning to realize what it was always destined to be. But it still requires tending in order to bloom one day soon. This is a card of encouragement, potential, excitement, and hope. It invites you to keep facing your true north and show up for what you're being called to create. Your effort has not gone unnoticed. Keep going. Someday soon you'll begin to see this beautiful creation in the world. The bud is connected with spring, the time when the upward energy of life is bursting on through. You may be seeing the first signs that things are beginning to come together. If you've been working on a project or have been dedicating yourself to ushering in some change in your life, you're being called to keep going and trust that what you've been working toward is happening. Keep tending your garden, and before long, the bud will begin to unfold and bloom. Well, beloveds, this is the part where we keep going. But first, we're going to adjust the lighting. Open the blinds. I'm going to keep the overhead light on because we have an overcast. And for those who don't understand, the light that I have on is a UV light. Recommended to me a long time ago for numerous concerns and reasons, and we will just leave it at that. There's nothing weird or strange or evil or dark or sinister about it. So here we are with the bud. What a way to open up this spread, as it pretty much described what we are about to go into. Whoops. I just bent the corner of the page of this brand new crisp book. But we're over it. Position 1, the rose. What's blooming? The possible future outcome, which is right here. And we have morning dew. Clarity, a fresh start, and a positive outlook. Morning dew. Page 92. That's funny, it rhymes. The rose transmission is, I'm open to receiving the potent clarity and shifts of the morning dew. I'm open to seeing this situation with new eyes. There's a special moment when the day is new and the sun still young, when we too are given the opportunity to begin again. The presence of the morning dew welcomes us with the grace of a fresh start, and as the moisture gathers on the rose, it invites us to see things clearly, sometimes in a whole new way than we did the previous day. A new perspective is suddenly here. So the most likely outcome of this spread is a fresh start, a new beginning. Healers from all corners of the earth believe in the incredible healing quality of the morning dew. They believe that it possesses the same healing properties as the plants themselves, with the dew capturing their essence in clear potency. Practices such as walking barefoot on the morning dew, drinking from the petals of flowers, and placing dew on the body are thought to bring about powerful shifts in healing. If we're lucky enough to meet the morning in this way, we too may be blessed by the special healing liquid that carries the secret essence of both the earth and the entire universe within it, the morning dew. This card brings the message that clarity is on its way, a new start and a change of perspective are possible. Shifts are coming. The future is looking renewed, hopeful, positive, and bright. Keep focusing on your ideal outcome and trust in the presence of the potent morning dew. And of course, with the bud coming out first, I'm seeing this as like a signifier, but also an amplifier of this outcome. Potential promise, and it's about to happen, so keep going with this fresh start, or the ideal of a fresh start. It seems like no matter what deck I reach for lately, new beginnings and fresh starts have been a major theme pretty much all summer long here in the Northern Hemisphere. So how interesting is that? All right, the next position is the bud. What's full of promise and the current moment. So we'll go to the far left with this one. And we have the return. A new story. You decide. Alignment. It comes together. Wow. So, ooh, there we go with some different lighting. So the story is coming together rather quickly and synchronizing with the actual positions, interestingly enough. The return, representing I need to put a marker here in this part of the book so I can just go right back to the page. So what's full of promise in the current moment? A new story. So apparently the now and the outcome involve new stories, fresh outlooks, fresh starts, a positive outlook rather, coming together. The return. 106. The rose transmission is I acknowledge how far I've come and how much I've grown. I decide what happens next. You've waited patiently for this moment. You've likely been working on the inner for some time, and now the outer is beginning to come into alignment. As changing beings, we're in a never ending growing cycle. This doesn't mean that we're constantly in bloom. No, this means that we're constantly changing. This card is like the bloom. However, it's more powerful than that. It heralds the coming and going of a whole new way of being. An entirely new story has been written. This card heralds a great shift in your life. This often takes time, sometimes even lifetimes. Acknowledge how far you've come and how much you've grown. You're a part of creating change, not only in your own life, but in the world. Take a moment to take it in. You're just one of many, but your being here matters. A petal in the rose of a new humanity, part of the forever unfolding. Things are aligning for you and around you. They're convening and coming together. You're in the right place at the right time. Your outer world matches your inner world. This card is delivering a message of harmony, coming together, and the embodiment of holding a clear vision for many years. You've been doing the groundwork to get to this moment right here, perhaps for months, years, or even lifetimes. Use this moment. You get to decide what happens next. And then the third position, the thorn, is what needs to be overcome, or what is the challenge, which interestingly enough is in the center of the cross. We have sub rosa, hidden in plain sight, mysteries, learning, and teaching as the challenge. Let me move this cup over here and out of the way. There we go. Now we have the light from the window. Sub rosa for the challenge. Beautiful. 126. The sole inquiry is, what are you being called to study, learn more about, or unearth? The rose has been a symbol of secrecy for millennia. The ancient Romans wore rose garlands on special occasions, and when these were hung above important meeting places, the conversations that took place beneath were considered sub rosa, or under the rose. It was understood that things said under the rose would be kept secret and not repeated. There's also an image of the ancient Egyptian god Horus sitting with a rose and holding his fingers to his lips, symbolizing silence about the deep mysteries. The phrase sub rosa may have its origins in ancient Greece, wherein (477) before Christ existed, a secret negotiation took place in a building attached to the Temple of Minerva, which is the temple seen in this card behind the beautiful woman in meditation here. On the building's roof was a rose garden, hence sub rosa. Another otherworldly theory of the phrase's origin is linked to Eros, who is said to have bribed Harpocrates, the Greek god of silence and secrecy, with a rose to persuade him to remain silent on the affairs of the gods. This card represents the great mysteries that are available for us to uncover and remember. Secrets that are waiting to be found, teachings that our soul might be ready to learn. Look beyond what your eyes can see and dig a little deeper. You are here to uncover lost wisdom, ancient secrets, and deep mysteries. Are you being called to study the great mysteries, to live the great questions, and step into your role as a teacher, guide, or mystic? Are you being called to question things and unearth the truths unknown? So this is what sits as our challenge. To look beyond what our physical eyes can see. Drink a bit deeper. Intuitively, I'm getting that with these deep dives, there are some things that are meant specifically for us, and this is what makes them even more sacred to us, but also what is meant to be passed on as the teacher, the guide, the mystic, but also that willingness to learn, uncover, and remember. Being called to question things even more so. Well, with new studies most certainly comes new challenges. Another challenge is keeping to ourselves what is understood that is meant to be kept to ourselves. Especially when that silence is less destructive to our people and this planet. All right. Position number 4. What requires nurturing? We have the sacred waters, nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, and self-care. Wow. Sync. It seems as though all of these cards are energetically synchronizing with the actual position. This is the seed and what needs nurturing. The sacred waters. Nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, and self-care. So this goes with a message of nurturing ourselves first. Remembering ourselves first. Know thyself, nurture thyself. And then the rest will come into alignment for optimal health overall, the health of the collective and the planet. Rest. Rest, rest, rest. Don't allow other people's words to defile you. Sometimes that couch is way more comfortable than the bed for different types of rest and healing, nurturing. So if you're spending a little extra time on the couch lately, don't stress about it and don't listen to the crap talkers because they don't know shift. They're just really good pretenders. Okay? Take care of yourself, always. So, let's take a look at what the book says about the sacred waters. What's your body yearning for? The sacred waters are the life-giving mother of us all. Her healing waters replenish us and give us life. We're made up of her. Like the rose, we need her waters to survive and thrive. We must drop our roots deep to receive the nourishment we so deeply need, to appreciate, protect, and honor the very thing that we take for granted. The mother of the sacred waters delivers the message to slow down and take care of yourself, particularly your body. To prioritize your well-being and live in a way that's sustainable. She reminds us to replenish and nourish ourselves and take care of our health all the time, not just when we feel unbalanced. We're being called to nourish and replenish ourselves before we become brittle and parched. The mother of the sacred waters wants you to know that there's nothing more important in your life than the care of your own sacred vessel of a body, and the earth is an extension of that. She wants you to treat yourself with tender care, to cherish your body and hers, to fill your well until it spills over, and once it does, to find a way to give back from this place of plenty, to give your body what it's yearning for most before it turns into an urgent need. What's your body yearning for? And position number 5 is the grounded action. In this position, we have the rose without thorns. You have a right to your joy, peace, sweetness of life. So, the grounded action. Rose without thorns. 116. The rose transmission for this card is, I have a right to my joy. I appreciate and drink in the sweet nectar of my life. You have a right to your joy, peace, sweetness of life. Most roses have thorns that protect the plant. When you walk past, it's so easy to get caught on their spiky stems, as if the thorns themselves are an initiation for the observer to get to the breathtaking beauty and scent of the queen of all flowers in full bloom. However, there are a small number of roses that are, unlike most, possessing few or no thorns, and that's what this card is about. The rose without thorns is an invitation to dive straight into the sweetness of your life, to rest into the softness, to enjoy the delicious fragrance, to rest in and relish what it means to be currently alive in this body, to embrace all the beauty and bliss that life has to offer. You have a right to your body, and the rose without thorns wants you to take every ounce of it in right now, to celebrate and lose yourself in the sweetness of your life. This is a rare moment in time of deep peace and enjoyment. You're being called to taste all that it has to offer, to drink it all in. You deserve every drop. You've worked for this moment. Embrace it now with open arms. It's safe for you to enjoy this, to welcome this, to embody all of this. And while life is ever changing and forever inviting us to grow, right now your lesson is to be in the delight of it all. I have a right to my joy. I appreciate and drink in the sweet nectar of my life. Beautiful. So there we have it, the first ever on this channel Rose Oracle spread, beloveds. I want to thank you so very much for tuning in for this message. In the next session, we're going to be doing a bit more storytelling for the Starseeds as well, except we're going to be going into a different deck. Okay? Okay. And that concludes this portion of today's sessions. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Much gratitude and appreciation as always. Brightest blessings.